They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Because she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Yeah, ooh, yes indeed. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another Sunday night here at Beyond Authentic HQ. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm calling it that. Why have I got... Oh, my crystal ball's in the way. There we go. I wondered why that subscribe sign looked weird. It's because my crystal ball was in the way. Because, of course, you know, every spooky tarot reading, fortune telling, witchy type person has to have a crystal ball. Obviously, it's the law. It's the law. You cannot be a qualified, certified, registered, and licensed fortune tellery, psychic type person, witchy person, unless you have at least one crystal ball. It's the law, unfortunately. We all have to get them. Good evening to you if you are just joining us. Good evening to you if you are one of the members who was just over on the live stream. We do a members only every 6 p.m. and it's always the place. I always say to the members, and it's always in the chat, that if anybody wants a reading, it's a good place to get one over there. We were talking about me being a rebel witch and how I really don't care about north, south, east, west, because I don't remember which is where, if that makes sense. I can never remember, but it's the same thing, like I can never remember directions either. So yeah, luckily these days Google Maps is your best friend. Although Holland did just point out, because I was saying that if I'm doing something in the garden and I need to know where north is, I've just literally looked out the window, seen which direction the sun was going, lined it up to go, right, it sets in the west, which means the east is over there. So if I stand where my shed is, then where the cat the neighbour's cat sits on her windowsill, that is east. So I'm not even lying. I've literally just written that down. East is where the princess sits window, so that I know, right? Because my brain, my poor ADHD brain, doesn't function the way that it should, unfortunately. But yes, you see, I don't think that's probably the best advert in the world, is it, for becoming a member and see just how incredibly bad Lisa's brain works. I know. Hi Cherry Blossom, hi Lisa and everyone, this is Cherry Blossom again. I love your name. Hi Patricia, hi Shannon Demdike, the Wicker Midnight crafter, Sarah, hi Faith, hi to all of you if you are just coming in. Do please, by the way, if you are coming in, do please give us a lovely, oh gosh, this hasn't changed. There you go. If you can do a lovely thumbsy uppy on the YouTubey thing, that would be really lovely. If you could hit that thumbs up button on your way in. Also, how would you get a reading? If you're brand new here, how would you get a reading on this channel? There are two ways. The first way is to sell your firstborn child and your eternal... No, you don't have to do any of that. The first way is dead simple. Wait until you hear this noise. That will tell you that a round is opening. Did I get the crystal ball from Total Tarot? No, I didn't. I got the crystal ball from a witchy shop a long time ago. The Total Tarot ones were smaller. Good evening, Flower Beauty, Peacock Rainbow. But yeah, so wait until you hear that air horn sound, and that means a round has opened, which means get your fingers, do this thing on the keyboard. I don't mean this thing, because that you've got to actually touch the keyboard. Type the word. This is how I type. Oh, Lisa, did you just give away the fact that you don't know how to type? Yes, Lisa, are you nearly 50 years of age? No, nearly 49 years of age in a few weeks' time, and you've been using computers since you were at school? Also, yes. Also, so are you telling us, Lisa, that in the last 30 odd years you haven't learned how to type? Also, yes. So type the word question. Type the word question and then put your question in to the chat. Okay, when you hear that noise, I'm really embarrassed that I don't know how to type. I know, right? Young people today are on their phones and they go and they send a message, and I get my phone and I'm still one finger going TOMORROW. I write one word and the youngsters are like, I will see you tomorrow. I'll be there at 7:30 and I'll send you that over before I can do the thing, and then I'll send. And I'm like, I say hello. I sent hello. Anyway, so yeah, to recap, press the button, do the thing. When you hear the air horn noise, right? That is your warning that the round is open. Type the word question, put your question in after that, and one of those questions will get selected at random. If you want to guarantee that your reading is up next, you can do so very simply by sending it through in the form of a super chat. Somewhere down here, somewhere I think it is, on most devices. If you're watching on a telly, you might have to load it on your phone or tablet, but normally it's somewhere down in this corner thing, will be where you send a message. There'll be a note, like a bank note. If you click on that, it will give you the option to join the membership as well, but also to send a super chat or a super sticker. If you send a super chat of any amount, you'll get the next reading slot available, so you'll get the next reading. If you send a chat amount, super chat amount of £8 or $10 or above, or the equivalent of, then you'll get yourself a longer tarot reading. Normally it's a 6 or 7 card reading. There's also the option to go across to Fiverr and book a private reading if that is better. So you've got the option to do that as well. So then those are how you get a reading. I guess the other main question that sometimes I forget to answer is who can get a reading. And well, the answer to that is absolutely anybody that is here right now can get a reading. If you're watching this as part of the replay crew, unfortunately you will have to go over to either Fiverr or catch us on the next Tuesday or Sunday stream. But even then, please be aware of a few things. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. You still can't hear? Do... Bum, 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 bum. Hold on.
They're witches.
So apparently I'm a witch.
Cause she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch. Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back.
Hopefully that's working. Hopefully that's working. No, but I'm not on my phone, Patricia. I'm not on my phone. I stream on a computer with a 2-screen layout and everything. I don't use my phone for this. My phone is somewhere over there. I don't use it for anything, for the internet or anything. It's all done on the computer and it's all plugged in very, very, very technologically sound. Yes, I don't know why that was. My Stream Deck has been having issues. It really has been having issues, to be fair. So it may well be that I need to get a new Stream Deck at some point. Another huge expense. Anyway, right, we've explained how you get a reading. I will use the mute button on the microphone rather than that one. Phone for Instagram. My phone isn't on for Instagram. Why? I don't know why my phone would be on for Instagram, my darling. I've got the WhatsApp up. I have everything is on, everything is working, should be, but I didn't just click it back onto mute, so something is definitely going wrong. Oh, phone for WhatsApp. No, it's all on the computer, my darling. I believe in a thing called love. No, I believe that my Stream Deck's just knackered. I believe it's just knackered. I've had it for a few years and it's knackered. Anyway, today we're going to be combining my favouriteest deck, which is obviously the Fifth Spirit Tarot. So if you want a tarot reading, they're going to be less blunt than we had on the members only on Friday. So if you weren't here, if you're not a member, Friday evening I did a tipsy tarot. I might have had a glass of mead. Bearing in mind I don't drink alcohol very much at all these days, a glass of mead back in the day would have been enough to go, oh, that's nice, I'll have another couple of glasses. On Friday, a glass of mead was enough for me to feel it, flush me, and also get that slight buzz. That was a thing that happened. So we did the Fifth Spirit on Friday, that deck, and all filters were off, all gloves were off. You'll be pleased to know, if you're getting a reading tonight, we're back on slightly more polite conversation. And to balance out the rather abruptness of the Fifth Spirit deck, I also thought tonight, we're bringing the Divine Dog Wisdom cards. It's like an Oracle deck, but it's ever so sweet because it's got doggos on it. And as many of you know, many people on this channel, involved with this channel, are doggo lovers. There's also quite a few cat lovers. We don't discriminate here. You can have pets or familiars of any type, any species. We are not speciesist. Everybody is welcome here. Although if you don't love dogs, you are wrong. I mean, you're not, but you are. So we're going to crack on with some readings at 7:15 already. So if you would like a reading, do please pop your name on the... No, don't pop your name anywhere. If you want a reading, I'll tell you what, should we just do this? There you go. If you would like a reading, the round is now open. So do please go ahead, send your question through as a super chat, or type your question starting with the word question and type it into the doodah now. Type it into the chat, or you can send it through as a super chat, which means it will go through to the it will come through automatically, in the form of a super chat. Don't forget, every single time we do super chats on this channel, every single super chat, every single membership, however it's done, we donate 10% of all of that money to the PDSA, which is a charity here in the UK called the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. They basically do wonderful work in helping out our furry, feathered and scaled friends who need medical support. They help with surgeries and things like that for people that are struggling. They also take in poorly animals that are hit by the side of the road, things like that. We also give 10% to a local charity here in the UK, a local homeless charity here in Leeds, in Sicily, which is obviously where I live. We give 10% to St George's Crypt, which is a homeless charity, which is what I was trying to say. And all of that is once YouTube takes its 30% off of the top. So then you've got 30 seconds. Get your question in now. And every reading will have a lovely divine dog wisdom card pulled as well. So go ahead. You've got about 30 seconds. And we're going to my most favoritist place in the world. In fact, the only place in the entire world where I actually care which direction the sun comes up. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Indeed. And if you are questioning who the mods are, if you are on the YouTube, if you're watching this, I believe if you're watching it on your telly as well, you can see the different colours. The moderators have their names in blue, okay, and there's a little spanner next to their names. If somebody's name is in green, it means they are a channel member. So then the keeper of the questions has said Faith. So I take it Faith is a person, not just you want me to sing the George Michael hit from the 80s. I think that's probably because you gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. And I bet you, Faith, I bet you've heard like people singing that all of your life, haven't you? Let's have a look. Did I ever mean something real to Y, or was it all superficial? Oh, I can feel the emotions with that question, my darling. I can feel the emotions inherent in that question. I'll tell you what we'll do. Move that over to there. So what we'll do, my darling, we're going to crack straight on and we're going to cleanse the working space. So good evening to you if you are just joining. If you're feeling a bit sleepy, that bell will have just woken you up. And we're bringing in Wispy. Wispy is my elemental air dragon. If you wonder what the hell I'm talking about, asking Wispy for advice, Wispy, as I say, is my elemental air dragon. He is a thought form. Is he an egregore, a servitor, a tulpa? Who can say? Well, actually, we can say, because we did a podcast episode all about him. It's linked down below. I've also just put it into the live chat if you want to know more about Wispy and my other dragons, because I am indeed the mother of dragons. Right then, Wispy, Faith wants to know, did I mean something to Y, or was it all superficial? Let's have a look. There we go, Wispy. And we'll do your cut. So then, let's have a look. So, where you are now. So where you are in terms of the relationship with Y, okay? Ooh, lovers, this might not be as much of a celebration. Don't go jumping up and down and imagining a little blue box, velvety box with a ring inside. Don't imagine that yet. Hold off, because this is very much your perspective. However, this next card is what you need to know. So this is what Y feels about the situation. This is what you need to know, Faith. Are you ready? Okay. 6 of Wands. And the potential outcome? The 9 of Wands. Right. Okie dokie. So, right. First of all, it feels very one-sided, okay? Very one-sided. Legally, I have to say all the readings are for entertainment purposes. You do make all your own decisions about your own life, okay? And this should not be used instead of counselling, medical, legal or financial advice, right? This is not, I'm not professional in those areas. Having said that, my darling, this says a lot, right? In terms of where you are, you saw this as a deep, meaningful connection. You saw this as something, this Lovers card, right, can be taken many different ways. In a very, very simply romantic question like this, it basically is saying what it says on the tin. So this Lovers card is actually taking the place of the Lovers card. Sometimes it will be getting to know your shadow self, getting to know yourself, learning to love yourself, all of those things. I think, my darling, that you were very into and invested in this relationship with Y. I think for you, it meant something very deep. Whether that was because there was a deeper level of sharing, whether it was because you allowed yourself to feel things for either the first time or the first time in a long time, to you, this was something that was, you wanted this to be an ongoing, you wanted this to grow, to progress, right? And so for you, this was a fairly deep relationship. We've got the knots here that represent, hand fasting. They represent marriage. We've got apples, which obviously we know connects to the Garden of Eden and the whole kind of getting to know each other in the biblical sense of the word. I think, in all honesty, this is where you were, right? I want to say you kind of fell in love a bit. Where Y is, what you need to know, Y's reaction to this, 6 of Wands. Wands is all about confidence, self-esteem. 6s are about community and people around you, your circle. And this is Y's circle, Y's family, Y's circle, that whole group of people. For me, Cups is your emotional suit. Okay? So anything above and beyond friendship comes in with Cups. Quite often, Wands being security, confidence, and self-esteem, that comes in with friendship. So when you're looking at a partnership, when you're looking at a connection between two people, there can quite often be that difference, because for Y, it feels like this connection gave them an uplift, boosted their confidence, boosted them, made them feel more comfortable around people. It may have been important, but not to the same level that you felt, right? This is a minor card, this is a major arcana. So just from that perspective, it's very different. It's significantly different. And again, this idea of the six being connected to a wider group, it feels like it feels like Y is connected with you, but it was more superficial than your connection with Y, right? Does that make sense? It feels like it was one-sided, and that the feelings and emotions that you felt weren't necessarily reciprocated. I don't think it was just a wham bam thank you ma'am. I don't think it was just a case of, you know, somebody getting their rocks off. I don't think it was as cut and dried as that. It does feel as if there was, they had their own reason for having that connection with you, for having that connection. The future, the Nine of Wands. This isn't a romantic card. This is a card of confidence. This is a card of self-esteem. This is a card of feeling your best self, and kind of, how can I put it, almost like, you know, getting down with your bad self. This is a card of strutting down the road like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Do you know what I mean? This is a card of confidence, and it's a card of feeling very much again, I want to use this term, uplifted. I think, in answer to your question, why, whatever this connection was, however long it lasted, however deep it was for you, think of it this way, right? It was something that, if it made you feel good, and if it made you, you know, open up in a certain way to the idea of having a new relationship, of getting over past relationships, if it led to you, even if it led to you just having some fun on a couple of dates, or even a single connection, a single dalliance, whatever it might be, even if it was just half an hour at the back of a supermarket, do you know what I mean by that? Even if it was just that, whatever this connection was, don't diminish it in your mind in terms of what it meant. What it proved to you to some extent is that your emotional self is working, right? Your connection is there, your heart is open, you are able to feel things, you are able to make connections to people. It may just be in this instance that the connection from the other person wasn't as intense and wasn't as long standing as perhaps you thought, right? So it feels like, take from this, right? There's no, if the Lovers was over here, it'd be a very different reading, right? Take from this the idea that actually, even if it was just a one night or one afternoon fling, right? Take it for what it was. Try not to read too much into it. Take it for what it was, and enjoy the fact that you had that connection. And at the end of the day, having a connection with a human being, right, on whatever level, can always bring happiness, even if that is just purely and simply a sexual gratification. There is nothing wrong with that, if that is what you both want, right? If whatever this, I believe very firmly, right, and this has got nothing to do with the tarot, but I believe very firmly the universe only ever gives us what we can handle, and the universe gives us what we need at the time we need it. So if this connection meant something to you, right, even if in the long term it doesn't end up becoming the thing that you might have wanted it to be, if that connection meant something to you in the short term, in the moment, if you felt special and sexy or loved or, you know, wooed or whatever it may be, if you felt that in that moment, it has value to you, right? Don't diminish that. Just because it didn't go off and be, you know, hearts and flowers and a mortgage and a 3-bedroom house and 2 kids and, you know, a dog and a white picket fence doesn't mean that a relationship has to have, you know, it doesn't mean it was worthless. Do you know what I'm saying? And so from that perspective, my darling, kind of think of it for what it was, a passing dilly-dalliance, a passing, you know, connection. It would have taught you something, even if the thing that it's taught you is that you don't want to have a connection like that again in the future, or if it's taught you to be a little less trusty of people, or a little more trusting, or a little more open, a little less, whatever it is, whatever lesson that connection brought you, it brought you a lesson, right? Take it for what it was. And the cards are literally saying, look, at the end of it, this 9 of Wands is quite a good card. It's a positive, uplifting, confident card. So if at the end of whatever this connection was, if you felt uplifted, whether that's because you had an orgasm, or whether that's because, you know, you got out, you went out for a really nice night together, or, you know, you had a bit of dancing and an evening meal, if it led to nothing else, whatever it was, whatever that connection was, if it was fun while it lasted, it was fun while it lasted. Take it for that, and then let it be that, if that makes sense. Right, I'm going to pull you a Divine Dog Wisdom card. So we know how dogs think about these things, don't we? About connections. All you need for a dog to make a romantic connection with you is either a pocket full of treats, or if you are another dog, to have a bum hole. Do you know what I mean? That's how dogs, isn't it? They go, hello, are you a dog? Yes, I am a dog also. Can I please smell your bottom? Yes, you can. Can I smell yours? Yes, you can. Ah, now we are friends, lovers, enemies. Do you know what I mean? So, right, let's have a look. Here we go. Your Divine Dog card. Self-worth. Oh, my darling, love what you see. Isn't that perfect? This is a card. This is all about self-worth. Self-worth. Love what you see. And look at that. Look at that. He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. Love yourself, right? Love what you see. This is what the card is telling you. This is what this connection was all about for you. A little bit of self-worth, a little bit of self-love, a lot of self-expression and self-enjoyment. Put it that way, right? Self-worth. Love what you see. Oh my God. This card is meant for you, my darling. I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. I cannot believe this card came up. That's what this is all about. The ultimate self-worth. If nothing else, it's taught you something, right? And I would take that lesson and absolutely run with it, my darling. So thank you very much for your question. And of course, as always, thank you for being here. And if you could just hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done already, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, so that YouTube and the universe lets you know whenever we go live, or upload a video. So thank you very much. Let's have a look in the chat now. As the wise woman says, next. Better luck next time, baby. It's a Dr. Hook song. Thank you, next. Ariana Grande. It was simply an experience. It was a good experience. It was a good experience. Ellis, good evening, Ellis. Your friend Elliot that Lisa met when we first met is in hospital, so healing wishes, please. Okay, my darling, hold on. Do I have? Hold on. Apparently these are green in the which box. I still am not entirely certain. They look grey to me, but apparently they're supposed to be green when I've done the research. So we are going to light a greenish candle. Oh God, I've got everything falling over everywhere. Right, okay. Ew. Do I not? Okay, that's not going to work. Bear with. Hang on. Here we go. take Mum's butterfly out of there for a second. Yeah, Mum. Just move you there. And let's light the green. Computer. Studio lights to green. Computer. Studio big light to white. There you go. So we've set the green here and we've lit the green candle, as you can see here, greenish candle. But this is a healing candle and we're going to send some lovely healing energy out into the universe for Elliot. Computer, stop. Healing energy for Elliot, please. And we're just going to send as much healing energy for Elliot and for anybody else that needs it. So I'm going to include Nanette's grandma. I'm going to include David and Pat. And I'm going to include Rain. I think. Yeah. Oh. Something connected. Right. Okay. So I hope that helps. And that will burn throughout the stream today. Good evening to Ma. Good evening to... Oh, Faith says you've learned a lot about yourself. Well, that's good. That's good. Listen, every experience we have teaches us something. The hardest thing in life is to work out what the universe is teaching us as we go through. Good evening to Marina Marina Acladios. Hopefully I've not butchered that too much. Good evening to... Who else popped in? I think that's everybody. I think everybody I've said hello to that's joined us. Right then. No problem at all, Ellis, my friend. No problem at all. Yeah, again, Patricia's very wise. We've got a lot of wise people here. So then, shall we have another round? I think we should. Have another round. So then, go ahead, put your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat. Remember, all super chats, 10% of any money we raise here on the channel, once YouTube takes its 30% cut, 10% goes to the PDSA and 10% goes to the local homeless shelter. So you can send it as a super chat. There will be a 3-card reading unless you want to send it for £8 or $10 or above. And again, the same place gets the money from the memberships as well. That always goes out to the same 2 charities, and everything on eBay as well goes to 10% goes off to the PDSA automatically. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Indeed, just ask one of our mods. Absolutely. Cherry. Cherry Blossom. Question. What can I look forward to in my love life this year? We're getting some romance questions. Must be because the weather's warm. It must be because the weather's warm. That's normally what happens, isn't it? So then we will do what we always do, Cherry. We'll cleanse the area first. If your name isn't Cherry, by the way, go ahead, select and copy your question and get it ready for the next round. We go through each of these readings is about 10 minutes, unless I waffle, in which case it's about 3 hours. But it's about 10 minutes normally. So do get your questions ready, okay? Because there will be more rounds coming in after this. So then, Cherry, let's bring Wispy in. What can I look forward to in my love life this year? Let's have a look. That's more than one card. With one card flips, it's significant to the universe. Is that one card? It is the star reversed. Here we go. So then, what does it mean if one card flips? It means this is your clarifying or modifying card. So a clarifying or modifying card does exactly what it says on the tin, Cherry. It modifies or clarifies the cards that come up in this reading. Okay, so literally what that means is the 3 cards I'm about to lay down, those cards will now have the star reversed as a lens. So we'll look at it through the lens of the star reversed. So what is the star? The star for me is all about wishful thinking. It's about wishing on a star. It's about having that thing in life where you say, oh, I wish I could lose 2 stone. I wish I could find a husband. I wish my girlfriend would, I don't know, be more loving. Shouldn't be about that anyway, but you know, I wish I could start over. I wish I could, I wish I may. The star itself, right, this card, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bring you anything, right? Wishing on a star, that's fantastic. A wish is fantastic. Verbalizing a wish, fantastic. But if there's no intention behind it, if there's no intent, if you're not intending on making changes to make that wish happen, then you might as well just go and chuck any old coin in a fountain. It's going to do you about as much. If you throw a coin in a fountain as a measure of intent, right? If you do it as a measure of intent, it's different. If you genuinely look up in the night sky and you see that first star and it's sparkling at you and it's shining at you and it's beaming down with that like amazing light from millions of years ago, whatever the hell it is, right? And if that inspires you in that moment to do something, and you say, I wish that my next year is going to be full of love, for instance, right? That's great. But then what you've got to do is put some work in to be open to that love. Put some work in to be able to express those feelings of love, to be open to accept when somebody else offers you expressions of love. A wish in itself is meaningless unless it has intent and action behind it. Think of a wish more as a goal. Now, for me, when it's reversed, it's talking about, how can I put it? It's talking about wishing things, almost wishing things were different, wishing for things that we cannot change. The star has, the character on the card has quite often 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water. So this is a bit of a liminal card. It's a bit of a card that's looking at, you know, taking action on the ground in very, like, how can I put it? I'm not explaining this very well. Taking action on the physical plane, but also taking action emotionally, because water in the tarot deck is about emotion, right? So the star is all about the fact that those wishes are useless unless you put intent with them, right? You've got to, just wishing for something isn't going to make it happen. You have to make those changes in order for that to happen, in order for that to manifest. So what can you look forward in your love life? Now we've got the star has popped. Let's cut the deck and let's see. So then, where you are right now, my darling, 6 of Swords. There is a lot of bad energy that you are still carrying around with you from previous relationships. Swords is trouble and strife. Swords is hurdles, challenges, objections. Swords is obstacles. It is all of those things. 6s are about community and the wider people with you. And you can see here, this boat and these geese or duck, they're all moving in a direction, right? They are all moving in a direction. However, these swords are going with you. So whatever the trauma is, whatever the problems are, whatever the stain, if you like, from previous relationships was, whether that was something that is incredibly negative, or conversely whether that stain was incredibly positive. If your last relationship or your idea of relationships is so wonderful, so happy, so joyous that nothing's going to live up to it, that can be as problematic, right? So whatever this is, it's saying where you are now, you are carrying the baggage from previous relationships with you. So again, this star is coming in saying that if you don't deal with this, then it is just wishful thinking. Do you know what I mean? In terms of what you need to know, the 8 of Cups reversed. You aren't ready. You aren't ready yet. You can't go on your journey yet. You can't move forward yet, right? Why am I saying that? Because the 8 of Cups is all about the journey. You can see here in this deck, we've got these cups, these vessels that are catching the drips. But it's not raining. When we look outside, it's not raining. What's leaking is the building that we're in. That's what's leaking, right? The 8 of Cups is all about going on this journey, following this path to the 9 of Cups. The 9 is all about 9 is full, 10 is overflowing. The 9 of Cups upright is a joyous, happy, wonderful card, full of light and love and, pixie dust and all of that lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Fairy tale endings, all of that, right? The 8 is about the journey to get to the 9. When this is reversed, it's literally saying you aren't ready for this at the moment, my darling. You're not ready to go on that journey emotionally. Again, anytime we see water in a deck, it's our emotions. This is saying there's a lot of really dark, deep emotions there that need to be cleared out. So you're not ready for new love energy to come in yet. In fact, this is saying the future, the longer term, I think you've got some work to do in terms of growth, because at the moment, the Queen of Pentacles, queens are nurturing energy. They're what would traditionally be called maternal energy, but they are nurturing energy. It's that caring, that looking after yourself, that self-care, that love, that self-worth energy, right? That comes with the queens. The queens are all about that nurturing vibe. Pentacles is not only career, work, finance, it's also growth. So we've got that growing energy, that nature, that there's always elements of plants, because Pentacles is connected to Earth. It's the Earth element. You've got that growth cycle there. You've got all of that. But this is reversed, right? And what this is saying is literally, at the moment, I don't know whether this is saying that counseling is where you need to go, but at the moment you've got scars from the past, right? And that needs work. At the moment, you're not ready for anybody to come into your life. It's the sort of the idea of, if you think of it as, if we'll take you as Cherry out of the equation, right? If a person has been through a particularly dodgy relationship, right? And that person is moving forward but hasn't healed any of that pain, they could meet the love of their life. They could meet the most perfect, wonderful soul partner, right? They could meet the person that is going to be with them for the next 10 years, 20 years, whatever, right? They could meet that person. But if they are still in a place where relationships equate to harm or abuse of trust or somebody cheating or whatever it may be, if that person's head is full of, well, all relationships are doomed anyway, or, well, I should have seen that coming, then you can meet the most wonderful, open, emotionally sound, wonderful human who is your perfect human, who is going to be there and is your absolute, like your most wonderful, imagined, perfect partner. But if you see all relationships as being ultimately negative, you're not in that headspace. That person's going to be ultimately negative, even if they are the most wonderful person ever. Talking about most wonderful people ever. Hello, my darling. My most wonderful person ever. You brought me a coffee. I know, isn't this amazing? Look, I was just talking about lifelong amazing partners. Hello, I love you. Thank you. You're right. Okay, well just chill for a bit. I'll come and do the rest in an hour and a bit. Love you. So that's what these cards are saying, right? Is right now you're still in that wounded place. You haven't healed yet. So let's pull you. Oh gosh, let's pull you a divine dog. These are the it's an oracle deck. So oracle is very different to tarot. Tarot has 78 cards. Every time the star comes up, it means the same sort of thing. There might be different depictions of the star, but pretty much the star always means the star. The 8 of Cups is always about the journey to the 9 and about finding that emotional fulfillment and blah, 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 blah. Right? They're always pretty standard. Oracle decks are completely different. This oracle deck is very different to my Urban Crow oracle deck, which is very different to a Witch's oracle deck, which is very different. Everyone is different, right? In the same way that it's like affirmation decks and things, they can have purpose, but every card is different. Every deck is different. And oracles, without the intuitive connection, oracles are just even more pretty pictures on card, if that makes sense. So let's pull you an oracle deck, bearing in mind this is the Divine Dog Wisdom deck, so we're looking for some wisdom and some advice. And so then we have significance. You be you. Ooh. Now, Cherry Blossom, you be you. In what I would interpret that to be is this past relationship, right? This feels, whatever this baggage or whatever this lingering stuff is from your previous relationship, it's stopping you being you, right? It's a bit like having a white dog and it's covered in mud and it looks brown, right? That's a really bad analogy but yeah, anyway, we'll go with it, right? This is saying you be you. Just because you've come through some bad relationships or you've been through something in the past, don't let it stop you being you. Don't let it stop you feeling love and feeling positive and feeling all of those things. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it change you. You be you. If you are a uniquely weird and odd individual, embrace it. Start a YouTube channel. Maybe not call it Beyond Authentic because that name is taken, but start a YouTube channel and go live twice a week, every week, right? Just be you. But this channel is called Beyond Authentic, right? That is literally what this channel is all about. Being your authentic self, being you. And this card, this significance, right? You are significant. You are an important human being in your world. Absolutely 100%, right? In a world of big dogs, be the little dog. I think it's a Chihuahua, but I'm not entirely certain. Or it could be a Pomeranian. I don't know dogs. I don't know all the breeds. When you are back to being you, when you are back to being the you is you, and you've healed from negative relationships, right? When you are able to move forward and not carry this with you, that is when love will come back in. I hope that makes sense. I know that sounds really like I'm just going, oh yeah, just be you, don't let it bother you. I'm not saying that at all. Get support, get counselling, go and do some, relationship work and all of that stuff. Go and get rid of all of those negative feelings that the last relationship brought up. Go and get rid of the one before that, whatever it was, right? relationships are they affect us, and they affect us very deeply, because as human beings we want to find a connection. If those connections in the past weren't very good, it takes a while to open up and trust again. Eventually you'll be there, and then you can be the you is you, and you can open back up to that significant other. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. Anyway, thank you very much for your question. And thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and doing all of the stuff. Don't forget, everybody, if you haven't done already, do hit your bell and change your settings to all. Now, listen, if you are an existing channel member, just check your subscription bell is donged. If you are a subscriber already, brain's not working. If you are a subscriber already and you watch the channel on a regular basis, hit that bell button. Make sure that your settings are on all, because YouTube is very good at unsubscribing and also changing the all back to, I think it's called personalize, where it just is like not connected. It's really important to keep checking every now and again, not just on this channel, but on every channel that you want to be notified of, right? Whether that is a car mechanics channel, a plumber's channel, a channel about funny cats, or Fail Army, as I love the Fail Army videos. They make me giggle so much, especially the ones with all the pets that, you know, the cats that miss and land, and all of the ones. Holland, my darling, just head off. Listen, honestly, Holland, look after yourself, number one. Just, if you want to listen in, you can listen in. If not, just go and look after yourself, right? It's the same for everybody. Look after yourself. Self-love is really important. That includes the mods, includes me, it includes everybody. No worries, my darling. No worries at all. Aquilarius, good evening, my darling. Sorry you missed the Tipsy Tarot on Friday. I hope you have another one planned in the future. Probably. I might do them once a month. It does, however, I will decide whether we do them once a month once I get this to Slimming World on Tuesday, and see how many sins the alcohol, whether that's had an effect on my weight loss this week. Anyway, because it may well have done. Anyway, I do think it's time. The bell has rung. The air horn has horned. Do air horns ring? No, the air horn has sounded. Sound the alarm. The air horn has sounded. So do please go ahead, pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat. Either way, now is the time to get in with your questions. If you're just putting it into the chat, one of those will get selected at random. If you want to guarantee your place, you can do so by sending it through as a super chat. Either way, please go and do one of the things nowish. Oh, this is my favorite one. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks and more. Just click on Join for more information. Thank you to all our members. Indeed, thank you to all of our channel members. Question, it looks like Culture Envy is the only person who asked a question on that round. I don't know if that is correct or not, but that is the only one I've got on my screen. Therefore, Culture Envy, my darling, you are up next. So then let's have a look. So Culture Envy, your question is, why did my mother hide the fact that decent suitors came for me when she was trying to set me up with men? Ooh, that's a very good question, Culture Envy. Let's see what Wispy can uncover. Let's have a look for you, my darling. So, I've got no idea, Culture Envy. I don't know what has occurred. I don't know what's occurring, but you are the one. The universe has obviously put you in the right place at the right time to get the right reading. So, let's see. Wispy, Culture Envy. Culture Not Vulture would like to know, why did my mother hide the fact that decent suitors came forward for me when she was trying to set me up with men? Let's have a look. I think the atmospherics must be having a thing. That's what they say, isn't it? That's what my nan used to say when the telly would go a bit wibbly. It's the atmospherics. I don't think it works on the interwebs, but you know. Same thing. So then let's have a look. We'll go with where you are now. So where hold on, Wispy. We might change. I wonder if situation obstacle might work better. Yeah, okay. We'll go with, Wispy, we'll go with the situation from the mother, the obstacle. So in other words, so the situation is what the mother's intent was. The obstacle is the reason why. And how you move forward, how you get past it, how you overcome it. So then, the mother's intention. The situation, the mother's intention. The Eight of Swords. She wanted to keep you blindfolded. Why? So the Eight of Swords. Swords is about trouble and strife. Your hurdles, challenges, obstacles. In the standard card, there's normally a woman stood up around swords, and they have either a ribbon going between the swords, or quite often it acts like a blindfold covering her eyes. The idea is that, as you can see here, this is cutting those binds. It's cutting and releasing the truth. When it's reversed, that is what your mother was scared of. For some reason, she didn't want the truth to come out. Maybe she had, well, I'll not say the maybes, but what the situation was, this is why she was doing it. She wanted it to stay hidden. She didn't want you to know that you had maybe more options than you actually had. She wanted to keep that information from you. She wanted you to stay blinkered. So the obstacle, that was the intention. So the obstacle is, what was she stopping? What was the obstacle that she was putting in place? Why? Because she didn't want you to find love. Ew. Oh, holy shite. Holy shiz. Yes, she didn't want you. Oh, Wispy. Right. Hang on. She didn't want you. She didn't want you to fall in love with a suitor that wasn't right. Right, let me have a look. And we'll go to the Queen of Cups is how you get over it. Ah, right. Okay. So, culture. No. Culture. She, right. How can I put this? The Eight of Swords, she wanted to keep some knowledge from you, right? She wanted to keep you in the dark about these people coming forward. The obstacle she was putting in place is because she didn't want you to fall in love with someone that may not have had the right credentials, prospects that she wanted for you, right? Does that make sense? So I don't know whether this is I'm assuming it's like an arranged marriage type situation. It's like she wanted you to find somebody who had a good career or good money, family money, something like that. And she was worried about you meeting someone that didn't have any of those prospects. Does that make sense? Right? She was worried about you not having not having that connection, if that makes sense. She was worried about you meeting someone and falling in love with someone that would be, I don't want to say below your station, but that's literally what I think it was. I think she was trying to protect you. And how you overcome it is you've got to realize that she was absolutely, from her perspective, she was doing the right thing. Right? From her perspective, Culture, she was doing the absolute right thing. She was trying really hard to give you the best possible future that she could. She didn't want you falling for a bum with no prospects, right? She was, from her perspective, rightly or wrongly, from her perspective, she was trying to almost filter and gatekeep the men, so that the only ones you would actually meet would be the ones who would be a good catch for whatever reason. Now that basically means that there would be an awful lot of people that didn't meet your mother's standards. From her perspective, I can completely understand why she would do it. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why she would do that, if that makes sense. I can understand why she would perhaps think that was a good thing for a mother to do, put it that way, right? Protecting your child and wanting the best possible future outcome. The thing is, though, it's taken away your autonomy. It's taken away your choice and your options. It means that you are only seeing things from, you're only meeting from a pool of 5 people instead of 15, right? Because it's almost been pre-selected. Do you know what I mean? So from your perspective, I can see why that would be incredibly negative. From your mother's perspective, she was just trying to filter through some people that perhaps might not be right for you. The question is whether what your mum thinks is right for you and what you think is right for you align. That's where there can be problems. Do you know what I mean? It might be that, for instance, you might be this is an example only, and I'm not saying this is anything to do with your setup, right? But let's just say this. A daughter is quite modern thinking, forward thinking, quite, has her own mind, wants to have her own opinions, her own views, her own career, her own options. She wants complete autonomy over her life. Whereas that daughter's mother believes that a daughter's place should be as a wife and a mother, and not go out to work, not question the man, not question, authority, and do exactly and be the perfect little moldable wife. That mother's opinion on possible suitors, that mother's opinion will absolutely be different to the daughter's opinion. And if that mother only allows the daughter to meet men who want to keep their wife in the wifey role, in the mother role, and have this little kind of caught up, this little mold that the wife will fit into, if the men that the mother allows, through that filter, also see the wife's position like that, then that autonomy is completely removed, and it means that the daughter doesn't get a say in the type of marriage and future that she has. That's when I disagree with it. If it's just somebody who we all have either family or friends that we want the best for, right? We all do. If a friend of mine said, Lisa, I've got such a bad record on relationships, could you help me vet them? Could you like maybe meet everyone? I tell you what, if there's someone I'm matching with on Tinder, you know, could you maybe do them a tarot reading in a cafe, and then, you know, feel them out a little bit? I'd probably be like, I can do. And, or, you know, yeah, I'll come with you and meet this person. Or, you know, if they've met them for a couple of times or whatever it is, because I would want what's best for my friend. At that point, if I see a red flag, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, this one's got a red flag. So I can understand why your mother would want to step in and maybe filter through the red flags. But I also completely get that if she's done that without your knowledge, and if she's done that without your express consent, and without you having a discussion of the type of people that you want to be introduced to, then it becomes problematic. Okay. But I do think, in all honesty, it really does feel, with this Queen of Cups, it really does feel that she was doing it for what she considered to be the very best of intentions. It's just whether or not that conversation ever took place, which obviously the fact that you're asking this particular question probably says that conversation never took place. Right, let's pull you a divine dog, a wisdom card. So we'll ask the question of the cards. How can culture envy, how can we move forward through this? What do we do in this situation? So we might understand the mother's reasons, but we don't agree with them. But how can we move forward? We've got patience. Okay. Patience any day now. Oh, look at the doggo with the big steak. Wait. Do you know what I mean? This is basically saying, right, so for me, this is saying that your mum will come round, right? From your perspective, I honestly think she thought she was doing the right thing, right? Doesn't mean that it wasn't negative behaviour, but she thought she was doing the right thing. And I think this is saying, give it time. Give your mum time to see that you have to make the decision about who you want to be with, and you have to be able to choose the person you want. Otherwise you won't be able to be happy, and ultimately your mum would want to see you happy. It's just maybe what your mum thinks will make you happy is different from what you think. Your mum might be thinking, you know, you must be with somebody with a BMW and a 4-bedroom house in order to be happy, whereas for you, what makes you happy might be somebody who is emotionally available and would make a good father and would, you know, support you in your career or your future or whatever it is, and that would also be, you know, on the same sort of level as you in the earning point. So you're looking for a 50-50 partner perhaps. I can see where those different things come in, if that makes sense. So maybe this is saying, have some patience with your mum. I think she was trying to do the right thing. It just feels like she hasn't realised that you are your own. What is it Beyonce always says? You are a strong, independent woman. And maybe it's just going to take a little while for your mum to see that and fully grasp what that means. I hope that helps. I really do, my darling. I really hope that helps. But at least, hopefully, that's given you a little bit of clarity as to what her intentions were. I don't think her heart was in the wrong place. I just think the way she went about things was a little bit off, and a bit underhand. But anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. Right, let's look at the chat. Culture Envy. If you've done your job as a parent, your kid will make the right choices for themselves. Exactly. And if you haven't, then you shouldn't put yourself in charge of finding your kid a mate. Yes, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But the thing is, parents will always parent, right? Parents will always parent. But I do think she's done it for the right reasons. Maybe she doesn't trust herself as a parent. But I would use this this is the best argument to use for her, and just say, but mum, you brought me up right. You brought me up to know the values in life. You've brought me up entirely to understand right from wrong and make those decisions and to be the best version of myself. And I am very happy doing that. But you've got to trust that I can make those decisions. I know, but you know, it's one of those things. Oh, hang on. I've got somebody. Is this somebody new here? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't think she was. I don't think she was toxic. The way she went around it certainly is toxic, but it honestly feels like her heart was in the right place. Put it that way. Oh, Dr. Priya Ratney Rathode. Hello. You asked a question. What? I too asked a question. This is your other account. What's your other account called, Dr. Priya? What's your other account? What do we normally know you as then on here? Oh, you lost connection as well. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. It didn't, from my end, we didn't lose anything. No, from my end, we didn't lose anything. I don't understand that. Oh, no problem at all, my darling. No problem at all. Let me just have a look on the back end. That always sounds ruder than I think. Everything is certainly connected here. Doc Priya Ratney. I haven't seen you on here at all, Dr. Priya. At all, to be honest. I haven't seen you on here all evening. I don't know whether the mods saw you pop in, but I haven't seen you pop in at all tonight. Let me have a look on YouTube Studio. It doesn't look as if we've had any connection issues at all. Bear with me, everybody, just 1 second. There's like 15 buttons I have to press to click through to double check things. Do. Inspector Gadget. Why is that in my head? I've got no idea. No idea. Right, subscriber mode is back on. The stream crashed for you, Neil, but fixed when refreshed. I've got nothing here. Okay, well, there's nothing on the back end saying that anything has happened from YouTube's end, or at least from what I can see on YouTube. Interesting. Okay, I will definitely have to contact them at some point, because we've definitely been having people having issues with streams, getting kicked, and then streams, you know, ending for people early and things like that. But thank you for letting me know. Right then, okay, so then let's open a round. Shall we have another round? I think we should. Let's have another round. So then, if you would like a tarot reading, assuming there's actually people still watching this stream, if you would like a tarot reading, now is the time to get your questions in. Now is the winter of our discotheque. Yes, I know, right? Dick the shits. No, now is the time to get your questions in, everybody. If you haven't done already, pop your question to the live chat, starting with the word question, and one of them will be selected at random. If you want to guarantee your reading, the only way to guarantee it is, of course, to send it through as a super chat. Any amount will get you the next available position, and of course a reading of of course a super chat of £8, yes, or $10 that will get you the longer 6 or 7 card reading. Hopefully that makes sense. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Yes, indeed. That jewellery range is up and available right now. Up and available right now. So you can, of course, go along and, go along and have a look. Go to thewitchesrow.co.uk. There is an issue. I have found an issue with that website of mine. For some reason, all of the documents on there are coming up as invalid at the moment. So I need to find out why that's happened and redo them. So on the bit where it says magical studies, all of that I need to redo that this week. So hang on if you want to download all of that. It's all being updated, so that will all change. But the jewelry is available. It will take you through to the eBay page, which is eBay. Just look for Beyond Authentic, same as it is here, just here, and you can find the jewelry. The ones I'm wearing today are the ones, they're called, they're for Billy. So they are called, it's not Wiccan Warrior, what's it called? Not Road Warrior. Oh my God, yeah, it might be Road Warrior. I can't remember what I called them. Brain fart. My brain is not braining very well today. Anyway, let's have a look. Ma. In the chat, Ma has been selected. Ma is... There we go. Gotcha, Ma. And I don't understand why YouTube is acting odd for people tonight. It's from my end. I had a little look while that video was playing. I was looking on the back end, and it seems that we haven't had a system failure or anything at all. Everything seems to be absolutely standard. So I've got no idea why some of you have been kicked from the stream or whatever. So again, if that is happening, can you please send me an email? Just send an email to lisa@beyondauthentic.co.uk. Just let me know if that is happening. Lisa@beyondauthentic.co.uk. Because is that gonna go up in the stream now? I think it is. Because there you go, beyondauthentic.co.uk. Just type in Lisa at, because I want to take that to YouTube and go, look, something is going on with the channel. Anywho, right, Ma, let's have a look for you, my darling. We're going to cleanse your space. And we are going to bring in the lovely Wispy. There we go. There we go, Wispy. So Ma would like to know a love reading for the near future, please. Is there love coming Ma's way? Is there love coming Ma's way? Is Ma going to find love or experience love, or perhaps have the hint of love coming up sometime soon? That's what we want to know, Wispy. Is love on the cards for Ma? Here we go. Let's have a look. I think so, Neil. I think so. Right then, here we go. So, where you are right now, what you need to know about love life and future outcome possibility type thing, type situation, type deal. Where you are right now, Queen of Cups. Ooh. Excuse me. Lots of nurturing, loving, maternal type energy with the Queen of Cups. She's somebody this card always makes me pause, because I always think, like, in another universe, this is absolutely 100% me. Like, I don't have a leather jacket anymore, but I used to have, with patches, and she's wearing pink Doc Martin boots, which I have. I have pink Doc Martin boots, and I certainly do sit at tables when I do events. I haven't done it. I don't think I've got any on for this year, but I will sit at events where I'm doing tarot with my crystals, not with a scrying bowl. But anyway, it just reminds me of something that I would very much do. But the Queen of Cups, Queen's a nurturing energy, lots of very loving, warm, supportive type energy, and Cups is in that emotional suit. So this is where you are right now, Ma. So I do think that there is a lot of, like, you are opening for love. I'm not saying open, but you are opening, if that makes sense. What you need to know, the Eight of Cups, okay, and what the outcome is, the Nine of Swords. Ooh, so right, in answer to your question, there's nothing here at the moment, but the Eight of Cups, what you need to know, you are ready to move forward, right? So you are absolutely ready to move forward. Whatever you've done in the past, whatever's happened in the past, this is saying that you've done some healing work, right? So this is saying that you've done some recovery work, you've done some healing, you might have had some counseling, all of that. You've found a way to get past, get over, get beyond previous relationships and learn the positive lessons from those, if that makes sense, right? So you've learned how to move on from previous heartache and previous disappointments and anything like that. You've let those lessons from the past inform your present, but not dictate your present. Does that make sense? This is saying that you are now ready. The Eight of Cups is saying you're ready for that next steps. You're ready for that journey now. And this is in the what you need to know. So this is saying that, you know, it may be that you need to start on Tinder, or, you know, asking your friends to, if they've got any single friends, things like that. This is saying it's time to start that process. However, it's not going to be an easy one, my friend. It's not going to be easy. We've got the Nine of Swords coming up in your, and again, because you're asking for near future, this is reflecting near future. So this isn't like for the whole of 2025. This is only going to be for a couple of months, right? I would say this card is saying it's time to get out there and start looking. If you've been here regularly, Ma, which I know you have, you would have heard me say in the past, listen, there is no universe where a romantic suitor is going to go, hello, Could I possibly come in? Could I speak to Ma, please? Hello, Ma. I am a potential romantic suitor. I would like to take you out on a date, please. Yes, thank you very much. I am knocking on your door because I would like to bring... It's not going to happen, right? Same way if someone looking for a new job, if you're looking for a new something, you've kind of got to put yourself out there. Do you know what I mean? If you're wanting a new job, you've got to get your CV out there. You've got to start applying. If you're wanting a new romance, you've got to put your name or your face out there. You've got to start looking, right? You can't just say, I am open to love now. Universe, do your thing. I'm going to sit in my house and wait. I'm never going out. I'm not going to go to the supermarket. I'm going to get all my food delivered, but I'm not even going to speak to the delivery person. I'm just going to get them to drop it at my front door. I will sit in my house and wait for my phone to ring or for the perfect person to come my way. If you do that, you'll be sat there until you're 194 and your corpse is... Do you know what I mean? Ain't going to happen, is it? However, if you think about finding love in the same way you would think about finding a new job, right? What do you do for a new job? Well, you put your CV out there on several websites. You let your friends know you're looking for a job if they hear of anything. You know, brush up on what jobs are out there, what you might expect. You think to yourself, well, actually, I've spent the last 5 years as a accountant. Don't really want to go to do that same job again. So maybe I'd look for this. Do you know what I mean? You put all those thoughts in place. You think about this, that, and the other. You do all of that work. In terms of looking for love, you've got to kind of do the same thing. So again, I wouldn't, don't do a love CV, but you can certainly put the equivalent onto ... dating sites. Tinder, Grindr, Finder, Bumble. I don't know what date. I've been with my other half for like 10 years nearly at this point. So I've got no idea what other sites are out there, but it used to be Plenty of Fish. Was that POF? Was that one back in the day? It certainly was one. I don't know if it's still going, but whatever it is, you need to get yourself out there. And if it's not, if the internet dating thing isn't for you, then you've got to go to coffee shops, go to libraries, go to supermarkets, go to, clubs. If you are, say for example, right, you go running every single night and you are looking for someone who will join you on your nightly run. You run 3 miles every night, for instance, right? And you're looking for someone that will either go with you or have a similar interest that you can share. Oh, well, this run's really good. Maybe we should run up a mountain next week, blah, blah, blah. Then go to a running club, right? If your hobby is music, if you're really good at the guitar, go to open night sessions, go where people are playing guitar, go and meet other musicians. If that's what you're looking for, you have to put yourself in the place of finding those people. Do you know what I mean? It's literally a case of, if you are ready to go searching for your 9 of cups, for that emotional, heartfelt, lovely, warm, fuzzy relationships, everything's beautiful, happy ever after moment, if that is the situation type deal that you are looking for, then you need to go off and find it. You need to put the work in the same way as if you would find a job, right? So that is what the cards are saying. And it is going to be difficult. It is going to be hard. It's going to be hard work, right? You will get, depending on the type of person you are looking for, if you are on a website and you're looking for any kind of men, you will get unsolicited dick pics. It's one of the things. To this day, even though on Facebook, my Facebook page clearly says in a long-term relationship or married to, I can't remember what it says, but it clearly says have been with my partner for a long time. I think it says married to, right? I still get them. Hello, I am retired General Williams of the US military and I am interested in women in your area because, of course, where I live is very close to a military base in this. Anyway, here is a picture of my penis. I thought I would send you. Thank you. Delete, block, report. Report, delete, block. Delete, report, block. Whichever way round, right? You're going to get a few. It's going to be awkward. right? And this is what this is saying. It's not saying it's going to be hell on earth, but it is saying 100% that you will, it will be difficult moving forward, right? But you will get there. You will get there. You just need to put that work in. That's what the swords are saying in this instance. It's about the obstacles and the challenges. It's not saying it's going to be impossible. There are going to be hurdles and obstacles that you need to do, Ma, in order to move, you know, to attract the right people, put it that way. And if you're not looking for men, then I imagine I've never been someone that's looked for women in relationships. I don't know what the equivalent is. I don't think you get unrequested minge pics. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Do women send that? Unrequested boob pics. I can't imagine women would send that. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a whole lie. I know several women that would send unrequested minge and boob pics to men. I know several women that would do that. Yeah. Right then, Ma, let's have a look at your Divine Dog Wisdom card. I love this deck. It's so cute. As somebody who loves all the doggos, the uglier the better, the cuter the better. I love the ones with, you know, 4 legs and a tail, 3 legs and no tail, 1 ear, 3 ears, 6 ears. It doesn't matter. From your women who love women friends, yes, they do. They do send unrequested minge pics. Ooh, I am very glad I am not on any of those websites. I am very glad that I have never been on any of those websites, and that those websites were absolutely not in the realm of the dating world when I was dating. Not that I was ever looking for women, but I could not imagine. Right then, let's have a look. So, oh, a low cut. Let's see what your Divine Dog Wisdom card is, my darling. Oh, leading. Oh, this is so cool. This is exactly what this is referring to. You need to step out on your own. You need to step out in front, my darling. You need to get out there. You need to lead your pack in looking for romance. You need to get yourself out there. If you've got a hobby and you are looking for someone that shares that hobby, say for instance, you really love Barbie, right? The Barbie film, the Barbie dolls, the Barbie animated things. I can't remember. But say you're really into that. You are a collector, right? Then go and join some Barbie clubs and find someone else who is a collector, right? That's probably a bad example. But if you are really into video games, again, maybe not the best example, but if you're into video games, go and hang around in video game clubs and game places. And, you know, if you are into, I once, right, this is from my personal history that Wispy's just dumped in my brain. I once, years and years ago, I fancied the idea of a goth boyfriend, right? You know the type, long hair, black eyeliner, dressed all in black, looks like the Crow, you know, all of that musical taste. And so I went to goth clubs in full goth regalia, and because I like that music, I like that scene, right? And this is back in the days when it was still vaguely fashionable, before emo took over and then it all got confused. Anyway, I went to goth clubs, met some very lovely people, met some amazing friends who became the most important people in my life, and still are. They still have coloured my life beyond any measure. And I ended up meeting someone that I was with for quite a while, actually, and somebody that it was a really deep and important relationship. And so I met my boyfriend in the goth club. Of course, he was the only person in there that didn't dress like a goth. He was the only one in there with short-ish, sort of fairly, well, it was short, blondish hair. He was the only one that wasn't goth. He liked the music, he didn't dress that scene. He absolutely didn't. So of course I went somewhere looking, because I really fancied the idea of finding myself a goth boyfriend at the time, and I found the only boy in that entire place that wasn't a goth, and randomly he became my boyfriend for a few months, until I moved away. So yeah, this is saying that you might need to do the similar sort of thing. Not go to a goth club, but you know what I mean. If you are wanting, say if you are wanting somebody who is into fitness, go to a gym. You know what I mean? You're not going to find your, you know, personal trainer kind of fit hot boyfriend. You're not going to find that in a all-you-can-eat buffet for fatties. You know, like there's one in America which is like the heart attack club or something it's called, where they just eat millions of calories. Do you know what I mean? If you want to find a particular type of person, you have to put the effort in to go where that type of person is what I'm saying. If you want someone who's educated, hang around educated people. If you want someone who is, you know, deeply caring, sorry, I think I've got the only one of those left on the planet, and that's my Rufus. So tough, you can't have him. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? That's what the cards are saying. Put the effort in. I hope that helps, Ma. And I don't know why I told you the story about my my ex-boyfriend, but you know, it's true. Right then, let's have a look. Your son says he often gets lonely Ukrainian women who want to be his friend. Yes, he's on Facebook. Yes, no, I don't think it's well, they might be loose. I don't know. Lose friend in the biblical sense. They claim here's the person they are looking for, and if he sends airfare, they will come over. Absolutely, yes. I never got those. Oh God, good luck to them. He's good with you, but awful to partners or girlfriends. He's learned a few Ukrainian phrases. That's funny. That is funny. It's a bit like, you can see them on things like, what is it, 90 Day Fiance? That's the thing on TLC, isn't it? Some of those programs are very, very funny. Very funny. Annie Pup has started eating something she shouldn't. Yep. You. What the bloody hell are you eating? Annie Pup. What is she eating? Fast. That's what she's eating. That is what she is eating. No problem at all, Ma. No problem at all, my friend. Yeah, it absolutely. Our youngest does that, Ed. Our youngest does that. She likes pig ear strips. So we buy the pig ears and then have to cut them up. And if she picks up a treat that wasn't hers, she'll go, and you go, is that yours? And she goes, yes, it was. I mean, it wasn't, but it's gone now. What are you going to do? Funny. They are funny. I do love the doggos. Right, we've got time for one more quick reading. Bear in mind, we've got 15 minutes left. One more quick reading. This is the last chance. If you want to guarantee you get this slot, it's the only way to do it. Please do send it through as a super chat now. It's the only way to guarantee this last position. Otherwise, sound the alarm. 90s club music plays in my head. Obviously, I would put that on my magic box, but it would get the channel demonetized and copyright struck and all of that thing. So you just have to imagine in your head 90s dance music, sound the alarm. Anywho, the round is open. Please do, for the very last time this evening, go ahead, pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or for the last time tonight, send it through in the form of a super chat. That is the only way you can guarantee that your question is up next. So do go ahead and do one of those two things. And yes, we will go to, where are we going next? We will go to, we haven't been to New York for a while, have we? We will go to New York. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. God damn it! Unfortunately, right, yes. So, no, it isn't a super chat. It isn't a super chat, Flower Beauty. A super chat is where you pay to send the message. This one is your members chat. So every time the membership rolls over, you can send a members chat and it comes up in that special green box. And what that basically means is when I pull it up on screen, you can see just here, it says just there. Hang on, where is it? There. It says espresso 2 months, and that tells me you've been a member for 2 months. That's just a members, like you can say hello. It's just like a highlighted message. It's not a super chat because there's no money spent on that, if that makes sense. But you should be able to hear me now. Hopefully you can all hear me now. Yeah, you can hear me now. So yes, right then. So we did have, though, Flower Beauty, yours was the only question, which means I will read for you for this last reading of today. You got the last reading for today's live stream. So thank you very much for that. Sridevi V, hello my darling. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last reading for tonight for Flower Beauty. So yes, it will be the last one for tonight, and then I'll be back on computer. What day is it today?
It's Sunday the 25th
Computer,
of May.
stop. I'll be back on Tuesday. I didn't know what day it was then for a second. I'll be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. So make sure you pop back in then, my darling. So then, for Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, let's have a wee look. So then, here we go. The future of your connection with... Oh, no, that's not the one. Where's Flower Beauty's question gone? There we go. What can you do to make more money in your career? I've got no idea. I don't know what your career is. And I've got no idea how the cards can answer that. Okay. What we'll do is the situation, the obstacle, and how to get over. Right, Wispy. We've got 10 minutes left, Wispy. We're reading for Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, and we want to know particularly what can Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow do to make more money in their career. We're using the situation, obstacle, and challenge spread. Okay, so then let's have a look, Wispy, at what you've got on board. Right, we've got the 5 of Swords as your modifying or clarifying card. Just move Alex out the way there, little Alex. Not in the Minecraft film, but was in the final credit scene. So the 5 of Swords. Swords is obstacles. Swords is challenges. The fives are a turning point. Oh, right. So you're not going to like this, Flower Beauty. The fives are a turning point, right? So this is saying that whatever your career is, right? Whatever your career is, there is a moment here with this Five of Swords where the universe has been trying to point you in a direction, but you've not been listening. You don't want to go, right? Fives are all about tumultuous times, but it's like halfway through your journey and it's time to look behind you, look where you've been, assess where you're going and work things out for the future. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do the hard things. It's like you're looking for a shortcut. This Five of Swords is all about you've got to stop, take stock of where you are, what's worked, what hasn't, and learn that lesson and move forward accordingly, right? That's what the Five of Swords is for. And it is an obstacle, hardship, hurdle card. It's all about that, because having to stop, take stock and move forward takes effort. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes you doing something. This isn't something you can do just sat on your bum, right? And the fact that this is reversed is saying that you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that you've got to put work in. The only way to make money is to put that extra work in. For whatever reason, it's like you're blinkered to that. Right then, so Wispy, let's do the drop and the situation. The Five of Pentacles. So all of what I've just said, just said, the situation is you don't want to move forward. You don't want to take that. No, correction. The situation is that you are at a moment in your life where you need to stop and assess. You need to take stock of where you are, where these milestone markers are. And I always forget the word for these because I've got a mental block on it. But you need to take stock and have a look at where your career is and have a look if it's working for you, because this is saying you don't want to do that, right? I last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember when I did the tarot circuit. That was either last year or the year before, where I met up with Neil and Ed and Holland and Patricia. Whatever year that was, I think it might have been last year. I invested very heavily in equipment because the tarot reading company, or the company that did the events that I was working with, said I needed to have a way to record readings onto CD. So I invested a lot of money in equipment that I used once. I spent a lot of money on that person's event, on attending the event, that I didn't make back on that 2 days. Okay, so I was out of pocket by several £100s at the end of that event. And the problem is, had I known that the organizing woman was a piece of shit, I wouldn't have done that. So afterwards, I had to do this. I had to take stock and look and say, right, I cannot in all conscience work for this woman again. I cannot attend one of her events. It would go against everything that the channel name Beyond Authentic is all about. I could not support her events. However, I'm also down at least £300 at that point on that one event, because I bought all this equipment. And I had to decide, was I going to just write that off and move forward, or would I try and play nicey with her and go to more of her future events? And I've never done one of her future events. So I just had to write that off. This is saying that this is what you need to do, right? So it may well be whatever career it is that you're doing now. This card is desperately wanting to be seen. Whatever career it is that you're doing now might not be the right one for you. And that actually it might be time to do something else. If you're not making enough money in this career, it might be time to do something else. And you don't want to do it at all. You don't want to do it. But absolutely, you need to take stock. This is the situation. So the obstacle, the Seven of Wands. Too much of your identity is caught up in this career at the moment. Whatever your career is, whatever it is that you're doing, too much of your identity. There's too many choices. So Wands is all about self-esteem. Seven is about tough choices that we all have to make. These are choices you don't want to make because for whatever reason, Flower Beauty, you have invested in your identity into your career, right? And you don't want to step back from that. And that's why the idea of moving any way other than doing what you're doing now, you're refusing to see. So this even more so with the Seven of Wands, because this is saying that Wands is all about the way you see yourself, your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth, all of those things. You don't want to admit that perhaps either you're not good enough to make more money, or that this isn't the right career for you to make more money, or that you don't have the qualifications or the experience or whatever it is. You don't want to admit that perhaps this isn't right for you, because the wand aspect of this, your identity is drawn into it, right? I am quite happy doing my tarot readings on here on a Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesday and Sunday, sorry, doing it on Fiverr. I nearly said Wish. That's where you get Chinese crap. Doing it on Fiverr and doing it on doing readings on other events that I choose and events that I choose to support, right? I am very happy doing that. And if it means that the two that are localist to me, I won't go and attend, then that's fine. I won't go to attend them, right? I've made that choice. This is you not wanting to admit those tough choices. Does that make sense? Because it's almost like Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow is a sculptor. Well, that's all well and good. But is your sculptor ring... Are your sculptures earning you a living? Are they putting food on your table, a roof over your head? Or is it actually a hobby and you need to go and have a day job? Do you know what I mean? That's what all of these cards are suggesting. All of these cards are absolutely screaming that there is something here that you don't want to admit to in terms of doing that, taking stock and reassessing. For the first time, I've had to stop this year and decide I'm not going to do events this year. I'm not even going to look for them because my health isn't in a place where I can go and do that. And I'd rather keep doing my live streams here on a Sunday night, on a Tuesday night, rather than go and do some live events and get knackered and still be in recovery mode on Monday and Tuesday, and for one event, for one day on a Sunday evening or a Sunday afternoon, for that one event to take me offline on the Sunday stream and the Tuesday stream because actually I'm still recovering. And so that was my taking stock moment, right? That was my looking at the cold hard reality. And the future opposition, the future, we've got the Two of Cups. Sorry, not future. Sorry, this is how to get over this obstacle. So you get over the obstacle, sorry, by taking advice, listening to somebody around you, perhaps teaming up with someone. If there is someone that you can share workspace with, or someone that you can share, you know, you go into partnership with, in terms of for your career, if there is somebody around you that you are able to partner with in a way that is also an emotional connection. So if there is somebody that you, oh, okay, Wispy, I've got it. If there is somebody you trust enough to help you with this reassessment, right? To look at your books, look at your career, look at the money you bring in versus the money you pay out, all of that, where your future career is going, where you're headed, what your future is at this particular company you're at now, or whatever it may be, right? You need somebody that you can sit down, somebody that you trust and that you care about, that you can sit down and go through this with them, right? That's how you overcome this not wanting to do it and being scared, because you need somebody like a close friend or a partner or a family member that will hold your hand and say, do you know what? It's okay if this career, if working as a barista, working as a sculptor, working as a art therapist, it's okay if this career hasn't worked out for you. It's okay to retrain and look again and take stock and move somewhere else. It's okay to do that. How you face this is with somebody else holding your hand. Okay, does that make sense? You need to face it though. The 5 here and the 5 here are telling us, you know this, you've probably been told this, you just need to crack on and do it as much as you don't want. This 7 of Wands is saying you've built so much of your identity into being Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, the art therapist, the singer, the dancer, the whatever it is that you do, right? You need someone to help you take stock. Finally, Wispy, we're going to pull a Divine Dog wisdom card. By the way, anybody who ever gets this deck, right, you need to, if you're somebody that likes oracle decks, the front of this card has dedications to all of the doggos that have either inspired the cards or that are memorialized in some way by the cards. It's a really beautiful little book and deck system. It really is. I love it. Anyway, right, Flower Beauty, Peacock Rainbows, Doggo, ooh, Divine Dog Wisdom Oracle card for how to make more money in your career. But notice, Flower Beauty, there's no pentacles here. So there is no growth in your current career here, right? There is no way of earning more money. There's no clear-cut way of getting a promotion or, you know, somehow progressing in your career here. There's nothing here that is pointing at that. This is more about the fundamentals of, are you in the right career in the first place? And the Divine Dog, again, self-worth. You are more than your job. You are more than your job. God, this card really hit home, didn't it? You are more than your job. Your self-worth is not tied into your career. It isn't. You are more than what you do to earn money. I hope that helps. I really do, my darling. I hope that helps. You are more than your career. And it's okay to change careers, and for something you are deeply passionate about that hasn't earned you money, for it to become a hobby, it's okay to give something a go. There are many, many, many songwriters out there who wanted to be singers and didn't ultimately make it, but still earn their money. There are many people out there who didn't have the opportunity or opportunities that fell their way and are still somehow in their profession. And yeah, I hope that helps. I really do. Right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for tonight's stream. I don't know how many readings I've done. It feels like I've done a few, but thank you ever so much for joining me. Once again, don't forget, you can be part of the Crow Collective by joining our membership. The details are down wherever the banknote thing is. And you can be one of our lovely subscriber supporters by hitting that subscribe button, donging your bell, and changing your settings to all. I hope that helps. And yay, thank you ever so much for joining, and I will see you on the next one. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll catch you next time.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
'Cause she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Yeah.